Now tell me, why don't you want to talk to me? Adam Sandler? Why don't you speak English? Or do I need to speak Sandler-ese? Is there some sort of textbook where I can find out how to speak like Adam Sandler? So if I watch these movies, I'll understand Sandler-ese. Okay, I watched them. Why? But I don't like them. What happens if I don't, alright? The remote from Click.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Large Father isn't a terrible Adam Sandler film, but it's not good at all. That was cool, right, guys? Like I did the zoom. Yeah, look how friggin' filmmaker like I am, cause I do that. I would say this is, out of the 3 Adam Sandler films, this is the best, but it's not good. It's one of the most harmless, innocent Adam Sandler films, you know, and Adam Sandler doesn't make a fool of himself like he does in a lot of his films. It's a charming film due to the plot. It's just this innocent kid, and he's like, I need a father, and then Adam Sandboy's like, I don't know how to raise a kid. The chemistry between Adam Sandboy and this little boy, Frankenstein as he likes to be called. So you gotta refer to these characters on how they like to be called. Just a fun family film. It's very fluffy. It's a cliche 90s family film, and for what it is, it works. And so if people say, this is actually like my favorite Adam Sandler film, I'll be like, okay, it's fine with me. Like, pfft. Okay. The reason why it works mainly is because of the kid Julian. The actor who plays him does a fine job, and Adam Sandler isn't terrible. He doesn't make a fool of himself in this film, and so he's fine. You could just pop this on if you had nothing to watch. His girlfriend and that other girl who dates a 6-year-old, they were really necessary to the film or the plot. The jokes in the film from them, it just gets old and repetitive. This film wasn't like, it's terribly unfunny. Like, I can see where people can say, like, oh yeah, this is funny. The jokes with the 2 girls, like, his girlfriend works at Hooters, and then Adam Sandler just says Hooters, and then it's a joke. And then we got this grandpa dates a girl that's half his age, and that's a joke. Is this film entertaining? Yes, and that kind of comes down to just the interesting dynamic between Adam Sandler and this 5-year-old kid. It's kind of like Daddy Daycare. That's a masterpiece. Eddie Murphy, you know, it's kind of like, if you like Daddy Daycare, Big Daddy is the right choice for you to know. But Daddy Day Camp, on the other hand, I don't know. Cuba Gooding Jr. No. You know, we're not talking about the Murph Master, but we're talking about the Sand Boy. And so I'm going to be giving this film a Rooney a 2.5 out of 5. That means it's a, you know, passable movie. If Steve Buscemi did not make that fantastic cameo, then this would definitely be like a 2 out of 5. There are a couple redeemable things in this film. One being the Terry Crews cameo, the plot, which is not executed well, but I think the idea and the creativity behind kind of this remote that can change your life and stuff, it's never really done before. But the way they handle this film is really the reason why I hate this film. This is one of those films that I would really like to see a reboot because, you know, you would have all this potential, this remote, but instead you got the Sandboy just screwing everything up, farting in David Hasselhoff's face, turning into the Hulk, being fat. You could do anything. You could make any kind of movie. But we got Adam Sandboy farting in David Hasselhoff's face. The humor is just non-existent in this film. He farts, he makes jokes, he's fat. A huge reason why this film doesn't work is because it tries to be, at the end, very serious. This is going to be spoilers, by the way. First half, we start off with Adam Sandler. He's goofing around his work. He's a busy man. He's busy doing busy stuff. They have too many remotes, and so they think, I need a big remote that can do everything. And that's definitely not going to get confusing when you have 1,000 buttons on one big remote. He gets the remote by Christopher Walken, who was wasted in this film, and then he goofs around with the remote, finds out he can do some cool stuff, can pause, can fast forward, so then he just fast forwards through his whole life, and then he fast forwards through literally his entire life. And then it tries to be extremely dramatic, and it's like Adam Sandler is on his deathbed. He needs his family. He has never reconnected in his family. He's been on autopilot for 25 years. His son's wedding is happening, and he didn't even know. The last time he saw his son was when he was 10, and it's always he's in the rain, and he's trying to see his son, and it doesn't work at all, because the setup, the beginning half of the film was him goofing off, and oh yeah, you don't really see his connection with his kids, who the kids actors, don't want to blame them, but they're not really good in this film. This film just doesn't show really the family dynamic. It kind of just brushes over it, and it's kind of this cliche stereotypical, oh, the dad, he works and the kids want to connect and the dad's like, no, and then it's extremely sappy and it doesn't work at all. And even if the first half kind of built up to that and connected in some way, it would be fine, but just the tonal shift is bad. Christopher Walken's in this film, and he does not need to be in this film. You could have just had Adam Sandler stumble upon the remote, and then what's this? Goofs around. Easy. The director, whatever his name is, pulls a Shyamalan on us, and it's like, Christopher Walken is a demon, or whatever, angel of death. No joke. And it's like, what? And then he's just like, I was trying to make your life terrible. I'm the angel of death. Whoa. What am I watching, So we're gonna give this movie a big fat 1 out of 5. Terrible movie. Don't recommend you seeing this. Okay guys, so we're gonna be talking about a great film, and that is Grown Ups. Big 2 thumbs up, because it has silly humor, and Adam Sandler, it's a fun time, because Adam Sandler and his friends, they're having a blast. So, during this film, I was having a blast, so big thumbs up for this one. Adam Sandler, best actor working in Hollywood. Best actor that used to be working in Hollywood. Got Chris Rock in here, Great guy, he's a chef. Then we got David Spade, David Spade, he's a crazy guy, so that's a plus. And then we got Rob Schneider, who... And then we got Kevin James, who is fat, and that's the whole punchline.
Grown Ups is a fantastic film, and I highly recommend you guys check this one out.
Grown Ups is like having a donkey scream in your ear for an hour and a half. It's annoying, it's loud, and kids under the age of 10 find it funny. Let's run down the characters. So we got Rob Schneider, who, is a comedy gold. He's short, and that's funny. His wife or girlfriend looks like she could be his grandmother, and that's hilarious.
Oh, and this must be your mother.
My wife.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Chris Rock, he's a chef, and he makes bad food. David Spade, he's a crazy guy. That's his character, He walks around the cabin naked.
Crazy.
Some other characters in the film are the kids, and now the kids, the acting and the dialogue is just not good at all. This unrealistic dialogue, and it's like, Dad, come on, I really want to have this,
What are we supposed to do?
All the kids in the film are really not necessary to the film, because it's Adam Sandler and his buddies, and then the kids and the wives are just there, and they try to make jokes with them. The kids, they're like, oh, frickin' man, I frickin' hate the wilderness. But then like the next day after they skip a stone or something, like, this is pretty fun, guys, like living in the woods, great time, skip stones and play beep. What? Where did this happen? The reason why the characters of these kids don't work is mainly on the writing, because it's so bad and so cliche and stereotypical to like rotten kids, and they're snobby, and just the way the characters are written is bad. There's no thought put into it. Adam Sandler, he's just himself. He doesn't really try. He's just kind of loud and obnoxious, and it kind of seems like this film is improv, so he's just improvising like, once again, Adam Sandler films with a family is they have to have some kind of like heartfelt, you know, a little moment, and Grown Ups is no different. There's this forced kind of message that's in it for a bit, and then it's just like non-existent throughout the film. They try to have this message where it's like, you gotta stick together as a family, you know, we're fighting and we can't do that. And then Kevin James, you know, Kevin James, he's fat, and he gets fat shamed throughout this whole entire movie.
Wonder what I fantasize about? Yeah. Candy bars.
17 burgers and 17 fries.
One huge reason why I dislike this film a lot, other than it's unfunny, there's no characters, is that there's no plot. The plot is, once again, I'm gonna say it, non-existent. After the fact that they go to the cabin in the wilderness, what happens? Adam Sandler goofs around with his pals, doing some crazy shenanigans. You know, Kevin James, it's hard for him to pee. So, I'm going to be giving Grown Ups a 0.5 out of 5. That means it's a terribly, awfully bad movie. Be sure to keep on liking, commenting. If you haven't already, start subscribing so I can see you next time, so you can see more videos like this. What's that noise? What's happening? Does that mean?
Mr. Sandman.